It's your boy Novazida ENT back with another one. We got this one. Obviously, you can see by the kit, I'm sold, right? But I came across this over, I'd say the Christmas break, sometime around December, early November, mid November, sometime around there. Um, this man whose name I still do not know. That's just how it shows you how good marketing can be, right? Um, he bought a 6 tier Kenyan Premier Club, and and he's made a YouTube series out of it, right? Like he's the CEO, I guess, of or president or whatever of Jerseybird. They make kits. I mean, it's actually pretty good quality, feels great, texture's nice. And he just bought a 6 tier Kenyan Premier Club, and he's documenting their road to the KPL, right? So you can call me a bandwagon fan, right? Because I didn't know about Kahawa Pride FC before this, but over the next 4 or 5 years, his goal is to go from 6 tier to first to Premier League, and I want to document it with it. I want to ride the bandwagon. In fact, if anybody else has a couple bands on them and they want to go in on a fifth division, fourth division tier club, so we can race him to the top and make some content out of it, let me know. Hit my DMs, hit my lines. You feel me? Let's go ahead and get this started.
I just bought a professional football club. Here's how it all started. Our story begins in Kisumu, a vibrant city on the shores of Lake Victoria, known for
Hey, shout out Kasumu. Shout out Kasumu. We're going to visit that one day for sure.
its deep football history, bustling markets, and a rich history as a trade hub in western Kenya. 17-year-old Joseph Okumu, a Kisumu native and up-and-coming star center back, just signed with Chemelil Sugar FC in the Kenyan Premier League, taking his first major step towards a professional football career. The 6'4" prospect makes an immediate impact, and 2 years later, he signs with South Africa's Free State Stars, then in 2018 heads to America to join AFC Ann Arbor, and later that year he moves yet again to Real Monarchs in the USL Championship, appearing in 12 games over 2 seasons. Then, a big break. In August of 2019, Okumu transfers to IF Elfsborg, a Swedish club playing in the Allsvenskan, the nation's top level of professional football. During his first few weeks in Sweden, he connects with Matthias Olander, a teacher from the area, and they begin discussing Kenyan football, specifically Kahawa Sportive Soccer Academy, a vibrant academy of players from 5 to 6-year-olds up to the senior team for both men and women, with the men's team playing in the local low-level county league. Immediately, Matthias is hooked. He sees the potential and wants to be involved. Together, in August of 2022, they decide to rebrand the academy as Kahawa Pride FC with a clear.
Hey man, see, look, it all be so simple, right? Like everybody remember what I said? If you had a break, you could break through. That's my little motto that I had for a little bit, which I'm gonna bring back, right? If you just had an opportunity to show what you have, like if he's always, let's say he always wanted to give back to the community, in Kenya where he is, right? I mean, he's not only is he giving back to the community, he's getting to do it while having an incredible LinkedIn. Like he's got a title right now that can kind of make a lot of things happen. If he wants to, and I respect that. And I'm loving what I'm seeing so far.
Clear mission to bridge the gap between Kenya's top talent and the heights of European football. The first game of the newly rebranded Kahawa Pride FC was set on a grand stage, Nyayo National Stadium, against none other than the Kenyan Premier League side, Kariobangi Sharks. Among those in attendance was Nick Mwendwa, president of the Kenyan Football Federation, adding even more weight to the occasion. Pulling up to the arena was surprise number 1. Facing a fully professional club in the Sharks was surprise number 2, but surprise number 3 hit the hardest. Inside the locker room, freshly laid out, were their brand new kits, maroon and green, a fresh logo, and a new identity. Walking out of the tunnel beside the Sharks and stepping onto the field was an experience of a lifetime for the players. For most of the boys from Kahawa West, it was their first time playing on grass, and certainly the first time playing in Kenya's national stadium. The match itself was a test of resilience. By halftime, the Pride were down 0-2.
Man, I will say, obviously, we gotta take it with a grain of salt, right? For being a national stadium, that's pretty. It's a great looking stadium. That's not what I'm saying, right? For being a national stadium, it does not look like it seats a lot. Give me a second. Let me see how many the Kenya National Stadium holds. But yeah, I mean, it looks great. Like I love the color scheme. I love the pitch itself. Everything looks kind of good. But man, it does not look like you can sit a lot of people from your entire nation there. Hold on.
The final moments ticked away. The Sharks extended their lead to 4-0. A respectable scoreline against a club 5 tiers above them. But the game wasn't over just yet. Then came the moment that would be etched into history. A perfect pass from Louis Mwaniki.
So 15 bands, so they can fit 15,000 people in Nyayo Stadium. I guess they got to start somewhere. I know they're not. I'm sure they're not ranked high in FIFA's national rankings. To kind of give y'all a little background, I didn't play high school or soccer at all until I was in my like mid 30s or like early 30s, around there. Um, and I kind of, it all started because I started watching some. I was in a bar, happened to see Bournemouth on the TV, and just kind of got inspired by their story. So I started following soccer a little bit more. I'm your typical American, like if it ain't football, basketball, wrestling, I don't really care about it. But once you start to absorb the game a little bit, you start to realize that there's parallels to sports that you regularly play, and it's all a chess game, just in a different on a different board. But our local team, we don't they don't have their own stadium yet. That's actually a big hullabaloo. I might cover that sometime because that's something that I'm passionate about. But I think I've been to soccer matches with 30,000 people in our time, and I consider our stadium tiny because it didn't feel full. Well, for a while we played at the Colts Stadium. Our team played at the Colts Stadium, so the 25,000 who were there felt like there was nobody in there. They didn't feel intimate, anything like that. So I couldn't imagine how, if I mean they might sell the stadium out. I have to look up pictures of it, but 15K, we got to do better, Kenya. We got to do better.
He split the defense, finding Glenn Gathinji, a 16-year-old winger with something to prove. With confidence beyond his years, he rifled a shot into the net. The Pride bench exploded. The stands erupted. Busloads of kids from Kahawa West, who had come to watch their heroes, saw something far greater than just a goal. They saw belief, they saw possibility, they saw pride. As a county league club, road to promotion was not going to be an easy one. With only 2 teams earning promotion to the regional league, the 23-team FKF Nairobi East County League Zone D was always going to be a grueling challenge. One word defined the first season: inefficiency. Despite overpowering most opponents, sheer dominance wasn't quite enough. The final record, 10 wins, 8 draws, and only 4 losses in 22 games, was respectable, but it left Kahawa Pride FC short of the promotion race. A 6th place finish in the club's maiden campaign was both a success and a lesson in the brutal nature of lower league football. A solid first season, but the road to the top had only just begun. Feeding off the energy of a strong first season, Kahawa Pride FC began making waves in the Kenyan football community, not just on the pitch, but online. Their social media presence exploded, catching the attention of teams across the country. But a modern club isn't just about how you play. It's also about how you present yourself. If you act like a professional club and play like one, then you have to look the part too. That's where Jerseybird came in. The Pride wanted a social media savvy kit partner, and they found that in Jerseybird. During the 2023-24 season, the club would take the field in an original Jerseybird design, launching marketing efforts through our social media channel to help boost the club's visibility.
Hey, that first kit go crazy. Like nothing matches this one right now. The one I'm wearing right now, you know, it's the culmination of their design team's efforts and everything. Like it feels nice, it fits nice. They're in their bag. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna shout Jersey Bird out on this as I do this series because they make some quality stuff.
And brand. We produced our own series covering the club called Road to the Kenyan Premier League, picked up sponsors like Vio, JJG Vending, and Overview Athletics, and amassed millions of views across TikTok and Instagram. Speaking of Vio, they have a huge giveaway running right now for a free Vio Cam 3. They are by far the best football match recording product on the market. We use them in every single game. Link is in the description to enter. It only takes a minute. The 2024 season began, and the club entered their 3rd season ever with a brand new home kit, and we launched it in-store for the first time to establish the first revenue stream for the club. The club went on to finish their 2nd season with an astounding record of 16, 4, and 5, finishing top 10 out of 100 plus county league clubs and earning their first ever promotion, jumping from county league to regional league, Kenya's 5th tier of professional football. But the news was not all positive. Our star striker, Glenn Gathinji, transferred to 2nd tier club 3KFC, and a combination of on and off the field issues.
Now, I wouldn't say that that's necessarily negative. I should have let him finish that sentence because what if something crazy happened to him afterward? But having your players transfer now, it depends on if it was a free transfer or if it had a fee attached. But if you're a smaller club and you can become a feeder club for these larger clubs on your way up, that's a lot of revenue and a lot of players. Like so, for my Americans, for who are not accustomed to soccer, since there's so many leagues, it doesn't work like the NFL, like where like you have trade deadlines and things of that nature. Yes, there is a transfer window, but you can transfer from anywhere. Like you could, that Kenyan club could come to Indiana and buy, players from here and vice versa, as long as they're willing to pay a fee. And the fee can be anything. Like that's where you get a lot of collusion happen. Like the city clubs, allegedly the city clubs do this. Like Mumbai City, New York City FC, Manchester City. You know, if Manchester has a player they want to develop, they may transfer. If you see, transfer that young player to New York City FC because it's a lower tier. MLS is considered a lower tier club. Because that's a salary cap, in my opinion. But they're able to send that player over here so he gets real game day experience, and they can pay that salary with money from their much bigger club. But let's say we're not in the Kaludi version of it. Like, yeah, if a larger club can go and say, hey, we have millions of dollars on hand. We like that young kid. We'll buy him for $3,000. And that may be the entire operating budget of the team they purchased that kid from. So it's not necessarily a bad thing to lose players to larger clubs if they're going out on transfer fees or even on loan. Because if you put somebody on loan, they're paying the price of that person's salary. So it takes them off your books. You might not be using them right now. It can free up a lot of revenue or a lot of cash flow for you.
Put the club in a difficult position, starting the 2025 season 0-4 with 4 tough losses. That brings us to today, where Jerseybird has officially purchased 50% of the club. I have joined the board of directors as co-owner with Matthias, and together with our team on the ground in Kahawa, we are determined to keep the dream of reaching the Kenyan Premier League alive. But the road ahead is not an easy one. Poverty, unemployment, and crime run rampant throughout the city, presenting challenges for every single one of our players. We have tons of work to do, and our goal is to showcase the depth of Kenyan football like no documentary ever has, building this club into a world-class program and becoming a pathway to success for young football talent across the country, creating more success stories just like Joseph Okumu's. This is the road to the Kenyan Premier League. Thank you for watching episode 1. We appreciate all our subscribers and everyone who has been supporting us, and we'll see you in episode 2.
Oh yeah, like I said, links going to be in the description. I support the vision. I love grassroots anything, right? It's a big reason why in Indiana, the mayor or the governor's trying to get an MLS team here because it's all about the money. American sports is all about money. The USL is actually going to pro rail. I think that United States soccer on a national level can never compete with in the same way. Like, we're ranked pretty high and we do pretty well at the World Cup, but our development scheme, AAU basketball, which is a video I'm gonna cover coming up pretty soon. Youth soccer, I can't speak on hockey because they say it's worse, right? But youth soccer is worse than AAU basketball, where you used to get the best basketball players because you'd be hooping out in the neighborhood. You'd go to middle school. You might go to a camp or two. Then you go to high school. You showcase what you have in high school. You get invited to camps, or if your parents have a little bread, they can still travel. But all in all, back when I was younger, which is a long time ago, we understood the parochial recruiting stuff was new. Not necessarily like new, but like it was under the table, unspoken. The kids, your neighbor played at a Catholic school, even though you guys lived next to each other, because he had a little bit more talent. Our rival in high school literally was 5 minutes down the road. It was a Catholic school. But now AAU basketball is like from the time you turn 3, these kids are traveling. They're going to different states, costing tens of thousands of dollars, and families are taking out second mortgages to give their kids an opportunity. It's a scammy, it's a predatory system, right? And youth soccer is like that as well. But normally, the people who participate in youth soccer and like hockey and stuff like that, they're from a higher class of money, so it doesn't burden them as much as it does like youth basketball players and stuff like that. But the reason why we can't produce world class talent regularly is because we're gatekeeping. You have the entry point to play soccer is so high for a lot of these kids. Like, my daughter, my oldest daughter, it's still not even that much. We found a club that doesn't charge a ton, and it's still hundreds of dollars to make sure we get everything she needs done. I got a buddy, his kids, the soccer system they're in is thousands of dollars. And obviously it depends on what your goal is with soccer, but that doesn't mean you're finding the best athlete. One of the complaints he has is that he knows there are kids who can, put in that work, but they don't get the opportunity because their parents don't have thousands of dollars to put on there. And one of his goals was to start a club that was completely merit based. Like, we'd go out and scout. He talked to me about it, and I was actually forward. If we ever get rich, it's what's going to happen, right? We go out and scout. We'd go out and we put that money forward, and then we'd sell those kids. It sounds crazy. Don't take that out of context, right? But we would take transfer fees for those kids to put back into the club, right? We don't want it to operate at a profit. Obviously, we want to pay everybody involved, like any parents involved. That's probably what have to be. It'd have to be like run by parents, but pay them for their time, right? Hopefully, it doesn't come to a point where like somebody tries to make a career out of this kind of thing. It's something that for our kids and kids that are talented to feed into the USMNT or USWMNT, right, or USWNT, for the good of our country. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, I take a lot of pride in when we go to the Olympics and we smoke people, and I want that in every aspect, right? That's how, you know, a bald eagle, you know, flies out of my house every time I open the door, you know. But obviously, we have our own problems at home. But that's just for Americans. Any other country, you guys can't talk about what we have going on. We can talk about our own house. You worry about your house. Um, but yeah, like, you know, so it's something that is a big problem, and he's kind of doing that. And obviously, the exchange rates are different. Like he's in one of the episodes, he's going to talk about how much it costs him to buy a club. Not that much, right? So he can kind of influence at scale this club like we would want to for the youth soccer, you know. So I just thought it would be a really good thing to hop on board with. Take you through. He's got a lot of episodes already. I'm gonna probably post a couple a week until we catch up. It'll take us a couple weeks, but I want you guys to be as invested as I am, because one day when we buy our when Novazida ENT, when we buy our fourth tier Kenyan club and we raise him to the top, we're gonna show him what a club really looks like, you know. But now, all due respect, man. Thanks for joining me on this first reaction to the Kenya road to the Kenyan Premier Club League. One.